Hi, my name is Zheng. This is the course project for ISC 410 class. My topic was on Backscatter X-Ray. It mainly deals with airport securities. As we all know, going through airport securities, there's so many processes. We have to take off our jackets, our shoes, unless you're wearing tennis shoes, and any other stuff so they could check us to see if we're doing any harm. But before Backscatter X-Ray, airport was using regular metal detector to detect any metals that were carrying on us that were not supposed to. Then later, in the 1990s, Backscatter X-Ray was introduced by Dr. Smith. He was the first one to develop it. Later, he sold it to recipient manufacturer. Now they manufacture it. X-ray that uses Backscatter X-ray is an X-ray that uses high energy level to produce 3D images. Now, when we wondering 3D images, are we wondering about what kind of 3D images? This X-ray was tried out at the Phoenix International Airport. People were the first person to, some of those travelers over there were the first person to go through those X-rays. They were the guinea pig. They tried out. Then a couple years or maybe a couple months later, other airports began to use backscatter X-rays. Backscatter X-rays have to deal with the X-ray that it penetrates through your clothes, and also the images came back to be a white images and is null. And it takes about 6 to 10 seconds. Now, when we walk through or stepping into the X-ray machine, we are asked to put our hands up and our feet slide apart, and the X-ray do its stuff, X-rays you. And you can see there's two machines. One of them does the front and the other one does the back. So it produces an image, and we would be giving a signal from the officer standing right here saying, you are welcome to leave now. And you can see there are people waiting in line. Do you think is this more time consuming or is it more time taking? So when it says penetrate through clothes, we worry about the privacy concerns, because as you can see from this picture, she's a female. You can see she maybe have an earring, or she's wearing a necklace, and you can see the genital area. So that's why you can tell that she's a female. She also carrying a gun on her waist. She could have forgot to take it out, or she's carrying a cell phone and other stuff. Because of this, many people are afraid because they're invading your privacy. They can see your body parts without letting you know, and we don't know. Because I remember walking through I went to Gulfport, fly out to San Jose. I walked through the Backscatter X-ray. Before I didn't know what kind of X-ray it was. Now I figure it's called Backscatter X-ray. We walk out, we stand like the picture I showed you previously. And we stand there until the officer said you're okay to leave. But I never saw the image of my own body. They're the one who did. They could see everything. What about person that have a missing limb, or maybe they have some metals that are buried in their bones to connect the knee or elbows, that you never know, people with the surgeries, or maybe they have pacemaker for the heart. So it's like people that are not related to you, or not even the doctor, is looking at you, even though they said these images will not be safe, but we don't know, because they're the one with the computers. They're the one who's taking the X-rays. We don't know if it's destroyed. We don't know if it's stored for later future uses. If you were to do something aggressive that caused attention. So when I said it penetrates through clothes and it's an X-ray, it's a radiation. So we have to worry about health concerns. Radiation, we all know that radiation will lead to cancers. And majority cancers happen with skin cancer, or if you go out to the sun too much, too often, too long, you get sunburned. Then maybe later on, you would get sunburn 2nd degree or skin cancer. So most children that are young, they could opt out of the backscatter X-rays. They don't have to go through it. They could be chosen to pat down. But then some people will use children as a object to put stuff in children's that they were not there to touch children's, because I touch your children. For example, let's just say I work at an airport and I touch your children. Your children could have said, "Hey, mom, he hit me or she hit me." You know, that's a big problem right there. So children's, they could do the regular metal walkthrough. But at this point, we don't know what the hospital's doing, what the airport's doing, because majority of the airports using this backscatter X-rays. Now, since children, they're sensitive, they can be very sensitive to radiation. But some elderly people are sensitive to radiations also. You never know. You never know, because it could cause problem right now. It could cause problem in the long term. You never know. So when we're talking about radiations, we think about cancers, and there are two types of cancers in female that there's not much we can do. The BRCA1 and BRCA2. One's the ovary in females that you have to remove it, and we all know ovaries has to do with what. And the other one is the breast. If you have cancer up in the breast, you might have to remove it. So like I said earlier, you walk in through the backscatter X-ray, they could see that you have a missing limb. They won't make fun of you because they're doing their job. You could sue them. But don't you feel down if they know that you have a missing limb? Because you don't want other people to know that already. So radiation can also lead to gene mutation, and it's harder for the DNA repair. If it's hard for DNA repair, then you will stuck with that gene mutations. Then there's not much we can do. And then also for the pregnant ladies or women, you guys are more vulnerable because you're carrying a baby. Immune system is not that strong like before. So babies are vulnerable too. So they giving the option to pregnant ladies, either you can walk through the backscatter X-ray, takes about 6 to 10 seconds, or you could do the regular pat down, and officer will pat you down. That pat down, that's like touching you, but you gave them the permission to. So you'll feel okay. But if you were to walk through the backscatter X-ray, if you're carrying a baby, they can see your baby too. They can see how your baby looks. They make fun of, maybe they could, or they would make fun of the baby. You never know, because we just walk through. After we walk through, we go to our gate and we wait there for the airplanes. So hopefully, with this new technology improving as the years goes on, new technologies been improving everything. Hopefully, we will see a better results. Maybe this backscatter X-ray does not have a, when the image came out, does not need to be null. Maybe it won't be white color, white chart color. Maybe it doesn't have a color. Maybe it won't show the genital areas. It just shows a skeleton area, but then that is not no use. If it shows the skeleton area, skeleton bones, then all you see is the bone. You won't see much. Maybe it won't penetrate. Maybe we're looking for a machine that will not penetrate through clothes. It will look through your clothes, and it could probably hopefully tell what you have in there, that what are you carrying, that's something that you should not be carrying in the first place. And maybe that there could be other machines later in the future that it maybe has a camera, or maybe it will scan your thumb. If you if a red flag comes up, then obviously they know either you had a background history, that you've been caught by the police before, or the FBI. So maybe some type of machine like this would be a lot better than showing the null of the human body, and that way you won't feel that your privacy been invaded. for me, I'd rather choose a machine that has a camera or scan my thumb or something that I don't have to show my human body to anybody. That way, with their camera machine, they could just picture who you are, pull up all your information. If you look clear, then you walk by. If you have a red flag, then obviously you need to sit down and talk to the TSA officer why, or something went wrong. They could check up on it, and it will decreases the terrorism at airport, and it would increases security. So security will not be that horrible. Security will be a lot better. Everything will go faster. And everybody will have a good and happy ending because they're traveling. They like to travel. They want to have a good experience at the airport. They don't want this. They don't want them to sit there and wait and say, announcement came out and said, there's a terrorist on board, or there's a terrorist somewhere, they're planning a bomb. I need everybody to stay calm. No, we want something that is quiet atmosphere, a safe atmosphere. Somebody that you gather together with friends or family to go visit another friends or families, that you're having a good time. So hopefully with new technology improving as the years goes by, we need a machine that doesn't cause this much of a trouble like privacy, health, and other issues. We need something that deals with less problem and less time consuming, because this machine is really expensive. Of course, once it's expensive, everything goes up. So hopefully the new machine, maybe later in the future, will be a lot better than this one. Thank you.